Hola YouTube, this is Flowwie, and we had a conversation today on Twitter. A user from Germany, Rene is his name, complained a little bit about that the Sketcher, FreeCAD Sketcher is a little bit too complicated and compared it to Autodesk AutoCAD. And he said it would be a lot easier on Autodesk to sketch. And I have to admit, yes, if you're used to 2D computer-aided design, it might be in the beginning a little bit unfamiliar to get used to sketching. And sketching is, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it has its own rules and you have to follow these rules. So you have to be very careful and have a very proper and a very, very clean workflow. And so he sent an image on his Twitter showing which part he would wanted to design. And I'm going to present it here. And I'm going to do this piece in the Sketcher in FreeCAD, fully constrained. I will use the stopwatch so we can determine if it's fast or if it's not. Is it FreeCAD to blame? Is it the user to blame? And I would say don't talk too much, Flowwie. Let's start it. We're in part design, starting with a new sketch, XY plane, and now happy sketching. We have all the measurements on board. We're just starting with two arcs, so we go for the first arc starting in the center point, and it has a radius of 35 millimeters. We have to attach this point also to the y-axis by selecting and attaching it. And the next thing we're doing exactly the same. Select the first center point, then the first point of the arc and the second point, and we already have the two arcs. Now we have to make another half circle connecting the two arcs here. That we do with an endpoint arc, selecting the two endpoints, and have to make the arc now. Here we have to be careful how we constrain this one. So I'm gonna make it like this so we can see the constraints pretty good. We will select the center point and glue it to the x-axis, also with this command here. And as you can see, it's clean. Same thing follows here. Endpoint arc, these two endpoints, and glue it on the y-axis, so like that. And now we already have this little arc. I will not continue drawing. I will first care about the constraints or the measurements. The inner radius is 35 millimeters. The outer radius is 40 millimeters. So next thing, what we're gonna do, we need two little holes. I'm just using circles, putting them in the center of these arcs. Select both and press letter E on the keyboard, makes them equal in the diameter. And I'm gonna constrain the diameter with 2.5 mil. So that's it, pretty simple, and it's fully constrained. We need this little notch here on this side, but we are starting with a construction line. So we switch to construction mode and just go from here to there. To make this one here a 45-degree angle, we just select angle. This one goes for the outer angle, that's 135 for the outer angle, so we have a 45 until here. So that's it. One last thing, we need to add the notch, and this is done with the polyline. Just go here, letter M to switch the behavior of the polyline, and go here. Glue this one on the outer arc. Pretty simple. Select these two, make them parallel, and now make them also parallel to the 45-degree here in the middle. So next thing we are going to do is trim. Trim command is this button here. We just trim the line here and here. Make two radius on each side here and there. Select the two, E, make them equal in size, and go for the radius 5. That's pretty much it. We have a 7 millimeter diameter here And okay, this one is not yet fully constrained, so we glue the endpoint of our construction line to this one using letter C. And now we need a slot hole. This one here is one missing constraint. We don't know the length here of this nose. So I'm gonna define this myself. I'm gonna use, for example, maybe 12 millimeters here. So, and now we need the slot hole, which is this command here. We can easily draw it, but you will see that it will either be vertical or horizontal. We cannot make it 45 degree. So we just start with a horizontal one and kill this constraint here, the horizontal constraint. And now we can grab the center point and glue this center point on this line as well. So one last thing, we have a diameter of 3 on the top of the slot hole, and now there it's also unconstrained. We don't know how long this slot hole is, so I might say it could be, for example, 15, whatever. So that's it, fully constrained. Close it. The sketch is completely clean. Can pad it, whatever we like. And that's our part. So I hope you saw that making a sketch in the sketcher in FreeCAD does not have to take endless amounts of time. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Have a good time. Flowwie is out.